Introduction of Sustainable Development Goals. The purpose of Sustainable Development Goals is to protect and assure humans appreciate harmony from getting away poverty. There are three core elements must be correlated. The first, growth of economy, community induction, and environment preservation. United Nations General Assembly adopt Sustainable Development Goals on 15 September 2015 in Rio de Janeiro that involving 194 state members. There are 17 goals with 169 objectives. 17 goals of Sustainable Development Goals. Goals 1. End poverty in all its forms everywhere. Goals 2. End hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition and promote sustainable agriculture. Goal 3. Ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all at all stages. Goal 4. Ensure inclusive and equality, quality education, and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Goal 5. Achieve gender equality and empower all girls and women. Goal 6. Ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. Goal 7. Ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. Goal 8. Promote sustainable, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Goal 9. Build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Goal 10. Reduce inequality within and among countries. Goal 11. Make cities and human settlement inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Goals 12. Ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Goals 13. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. Goals 14. Conserve and sustainable use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Goal 15. Protect, preserve, and promote sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems, sustainable manage forests, combat desertification, and halt and reserve land degradation, and halt biodiversity loss. Goal 16. Promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Goal 17. Strengthen the means of implementation, revitalize the global partnership of sustainable development. History of Sustainable Development Goals. Sustainable Development Goals redeveloped into Millennium Development Goals. Millennium Development Goals play important role for facing poverty and hunger, improving health, and increasing free primary education for children. Millennium Development Goals started in 2000 and Sustainable Development Goals started in 2015 when Millennium Development Goals ended. In Rio de Janeiro, United Nations state members come to United Nations Conference in 2012 for creating new global scheme for sustainable development goals. 25th September 2014 at United Nations Summit 2030 agenda was adopted. 115 heads of state attended it.
Environmental sustainability relates to human creation escalates on Earth. As a leader, human beings have the right and the responsibility of ensuring the environment is always maintained well. But since then, there has been a lot of pollution and the damage caused by human action. For solving this problem, green technology has been created as an effort to neutralize nature with creation to green base. Sustainable forest management is a method of managing forests for a variety of uses that will benefit ecological, economic, environmental, social and cultural values for present and future generations. Sustainable management is guided by the principle of sustainability. They identify the production forest area within the permanent forest area of for control timber production. Timber production is also undertaken periodically to enable restoration of logged areas as well as monitoring of production forest areas. Biodiversity are all forms of life that are collected in terms of plant and animal species, microorganism, ecosystem and ecological process. Biodiversity is important for ecosystem balance. Full food chains are based on biodiversity. Biodiversity supplies food, rains, habitats to animals. In addition, humans will have enough food sources. Meanwhile, there are many things that have sparked biological diversity. Among them include the increasingly warm climate change, the greenhouse effect, the global warming that contributes to the polar ice melting, the depleting ozone layer, and so on. Therefore, we need to solve this problem by thinking about the most suitable for biodiversity retention. Biodiversity are all forms of life that are collected in terms of plant and animal species, microorganisms, ecosystem and ecological process. Biodiversity is important for ecosystem balance. Full food chain based on biodiversity. Biodiversity supplies food, drinks, habitats to animals. In addition, humans will have enough food sources. Meanwhile, there are many things that have sparked biological diversity. Among them include the increasing warm climate change, the greenhouse effect, the global warming that contributes to the polar ice melting, the depleting ozone layer, and so on. Desertification is a type of land degradation in which areas of land more and more become dry. This usually caused by losing of water as well as vegetation and wildlife. This matter caused by a variety of factors such as through climate change, particularly the current global warming. This is also due to through the overexploitation of soils through human activity. When this happens automatically over natural course of a planet's life cycle, so it can be called a natural phenomenon. However, when desert emerge due to lacking of nutrients in soil that are essential for it to remain arable, then a virtual solstice can be spoken of which trace it goes back to human overexploitation.
Okay, info sustainable development goals about the climate inequality, the pocket of poverty and hunger to rapid for challenging countries. As we know, the country today are lead to sanctify the climate changes. it is because the negative impact from human and the environment. The climatic was changes caused many people and human hunger and died. It is because they need many food and place to stay alive. If the forests are fail, the product supplies will be disconnected. The graph below show the info of Sustainable Development Goals at 2015 until 2017. Okay, the death rate of 2015 increased to 2016. It is because the food supply are decreased, so they did not have anything to stay alive. At the 2016, the death rate are decreased because many facilities are provided to them. About the statement rate, at the 2016, the graph are increased. It is because they are forced to bear their own risk. In 2016 to 2017, it show decrease. It because many the party help to solve this problem. Thank you.
Beyond the shadow of doubt, Malaysia has taken credible actions to protect its biodiversity with the formulation of various policies and legislation such as National Policy for Biological Diversity 2019 to 2025, National Forestry Policy 1978, Second National Mineral Policy 2009, Wildlife Conservation Act 2010, National Parks Act 1980, Biosafety Act 2007, and others. In 2015, 55.2% of Malaysia's total land area are protected forests. There are some forms of forest areas that are protected, such as permanent reserve forests and national and state parks. Furthermore, transboundary projects also have been initiated, including the Central Forest Spine in Peninsular Malaysia and the Heart of Borneo, which involves Sabah and Sarawak states. Moreover, Malaysia is drawing up a national red database for threatened species and implementing innovative methods to pool resources to combat poaching, illegal wildlife trade, and encroachment into protected areas. First, the target is the parties ensure the preservation, conservation, and water ecosystem of sustainable land such as forests, wetlands, mountains, and dry land in keeping with globalization under certain agreements. This target can be achieved as the National Policy for Biological Diversity 2016 to 2025 provides the framework for continuous conservation, sustainable usage, and sharing of biodiversity benefits in a fair and equitable manner. Next, the target is some parties promote the implementation of sustainable management of all forest types. For example, to stop widespread logging and restore degraded forests. This target also can be achieved as Malaysia government has implemented the reforestation in urban areas, which will act as a great encouragement to the public to start from home and move to saving the forests. The third target is to combat desertification, rehabilitating land and degraded land, including land degraded by drought and trying to achieve a world of neutral soil degradation. This target can be achieved as data on land degradation is continuously being improved through advances in remote sensing, digital mapping and monitoring taken by FAO. Next, the target is ensuring conservation of forest ecosystem biological diversity by increasing their ability to provide significant benefits to sustainable development. This target cannot be achieved as mountain ecosystems are particularly fragile, subject to both natural and anthropogenic drivers of change. These range from volcanic and seismic events and flooding to global climate change and the loss of vegetation and soils because of inappropriate agriculture and forestry practices and extractive industries. Thus, the target is promoting parties with fair and equitable sharing of benefits from the use of genetic resources and promoting appropriate access to resources. This target can be achieved as the Convention on Biological Diversity recognizes the rights of the states over their natural resources in areas within their jurisdiction. Genetic resources, whether from plant, animal, or microorganisms, may be used for different purposes.
For the conclusion, we can see that our country had taken the best step to cover the biological in this country with variety law and regulations such as National Forest Policy 1978, Wild, Wildlife Conservation Act 2010 and others. Malaysia provide framework of the National Policy for Biological Diversity 2016 to 2025 to continue conversation in order to maintain sustainability and biological diversity advantage similarity. The National Natural Resources Trust Fund has also been formed to pay the mean of conservation effort that has been developed through resources mobilization plan to foster the national policy on biological diversity. That's all. Since 2015, 55.2% of Malaysia's lands are fulfilled by trees in variety-shaped cares. For discharge promised at the Earth Summit 1992 in Rio de Janeiro to set at least 50% of lands are covered tree. There are variety of carrot forest areas such as Ramsar site and others. In addition, by maintaining forests, it will produce a range of ecosystem benefit to improve life of biological diversity, including threatened species as well as it reduce hydration of soil.